Well, you know the drill. Trying to cut through the red tape of local government can be kind of like banging your head against the wall sometimes.
Yeah, but what about when it's the government that makes the mistake and the mistake seems crystal clear and you have consumer reporter Steve Noviello on your side? Take a look.
So what you're telling me is that the taxes that these folks owe is not a result of the reimbursement that the Copes got?
No.
At all?
No.
100%?
That is a totally different, separate mistake.
I want you to count the wrong answers with me. That's one.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
2.
It has nothing to do with a refund.
That's 3. There are 6 more, but I think you get the point. They come courtesy of Ron Wright, the Tarrant County Tax Collector, the man who
I owe now $4,229.67.
Randy Stevens is counting on to help him.
Those are my 3 stepsons.
You see, Randy is getting letters and phone calls from lawyers from the tax collector's office demanding thousands of dollars he doesn't owe and threatening to take his house away if he doesn't pay.
I've spoken to them until I'm blue in the face, and I get absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere. We got a taste of his frustration.
This has your name at the top of it.
Of course it does.
And you knew we were coming to discuss this specific case. So is it unreasonable for me to expect that you know what this document is?
Yes.
Let me walk you through it. According to Tarrant County's chief appraiser, Jeff Law, here's what happened. In 2015, Randy and his wife bought their house from the Cope family. It had a clean title, no back taxes were owed. When the Copes moved to their new house, they applied for an over 65 exemption on their new property. A clerical error at the appraisal district marked the year as 2005 instead of 2015. That triggered the tax office to incorrectly send out thousands in refunds to the Copes.
We had nothing to do with this. This was your mistake.
Wait, it gets worse. When the county discovered their error, instead of contacting the Cope family who got and cashed those refund checks, they sent bills to Randy Stevens since he was the new property owner. But a second data entry error made at the appraisal district meant the bills demanding that refund money back were sent to the wrong address.
It said Cross Circle, and I lived on Doss Circle at the time.
And because the bills never arrived, they were never paid. So for 15 months, to add insult to injury, the county tacked on penalties and interest to a debt that Randy Stevens didn't actually owe.
Is that on the appraisal district or is that on you?
That is absolutely on the appraisal district.
So now 2 mistakes.
Yes.
It seems pretty black and white, but when Randy contacted the tax office, he was told it was his responsibility to reach out to the former owners and get that refund money back.
Do you think that any of that should be your responsibility?
No, absolutely not.
So he asked again, and again was told either pay it yourself or track it down.
Advised in the previous letter, reach out to the Copes for reimbursement.
And don't forget,
we're not asking for the refund back from the Stevens family.
The tax collector, the man who can solve this problem, seems to be under the impression that refund has nothing to do with this bill.
Okay.
Separate mistake.
This is a letter from your office.
Yep.
I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
You will need to reach out to the Copes to seek reimbursement for these taxes. Sincerely, Sandra Martin, Property Tax Specialist for Ron Wright.
Seriously. That was a mistake.
No, it's outrageous advice, but there is no mistake. You are asking the new owners to pay you back for a refund you mistakenly sent to the prior owners.
I will look into that.
How have you not looked into this already?
I've had a whole staff looking into it.
But these are basic questions about what constitutes this debt.
No.
What we were promised when we first contacted the county was that those threatening letters and calls from lawyers would stop.
I felt like they were harassing me. I was getting calls at least once a week.
Well, apparently that doesn't include this.
Were you aware that these people got a lien placed on their house on Monday and were asked to pay the tax bill immediately?
Monday? No, I was not aware of that.
Here's the check, sent in fear that their home would be auctioned off.
I just told you we stopped the court action. It's not going to happen.
But yet it did. Their mortgage company fronted the money to cover the refunded taxes from years before they ever owned the house.
This is the delinquent tax statement that goes with that check. What are the years of the taxes owed on that delinquent tax statement?
2012, 13, and 14.
And what year did they buy their house?
15.
Okay, so should they be writing you a check for $4,000 for taxes that are owed from before they purchased the property?
I don't think so, but I need to check it out.
And finally, he did. 6 days after this interview, after we spent months trying to explain what happened, this uphill battle that Randy Stevens fought
To us, it seemed like a real simple solution.
was over. The problem resolved. That debt, the penalties and interest, the fees, all wiped clean. That check his mortgage company sent was sent back.
And even Ron said, "You are a bulldog, have been a bulldog for us, and we so much appreciate that." We're elated.
We followed up one more time with Ron Wright after that interview. He had a totally new perspective. He said that yes, in fact, the taxes due were a result of that refund and apologized for any confusion. Confusion that almost led to this family losing their house. So here is my advice. Stay the course, stay well documented, and as maddening as these situations can be, understand that I feel your pain and I'm here to help.